Hey y'all, peep this, man. Hold on. All right, we finna talk about Shedeur Sanders, man, and this whole situation because I like the opinions, and everybody entitled to their own opinion. So I'm not gonna be here talking about, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, or you wrong, or you. One thing I don't like though is when we always try to say, well, when such and such them did it, why is it different now? You know why it's different now? Because it's a different team, it's different people, it's a different era, it's different money, it's different situations, it's fucking different years, it's decades later. That's what I'm saying. Don't first and foremost, stop trying to make it a racial issue. There are racial shit going on in the world, y'all. There's money issues, there's racial issues, there's opinionated issues. Like, y'all can't, the first thing you see people say, well, Archie Manning said he ain't want his son to play for such and such, so don't blame Deion. Yes, you can blame him. We blamed Archie Manning. Hell, we blamed John Elway. And it's a lot of people who came through the NFL and said they ain't gonna play for a team if they draft them. Fine. It's that team's choice to deal with it or not. But what y'all not understanding, back then, that was a draft. Those were draft classes that was full of quarterbacks. And a bunch of teams needed quarterbacks. The Giants, the Chargers, back then, they told him, don't draft him. Drafted him, traded him. Okay. This Shedeur Sanders situation, it ain't got nothing to do with the NFL being racist. Because if that's the case, Cam wouldn't have got drafted first pick. First pick of the draft was a black quarterback, y'all. That's first and foremost. Think about it. First pick of the draft was a black quarterback. All right. Second pick of the draft was a black wide receiver. All right. Point blank period. How many black quarterbacks went first pick of the draft? How many wide receivers went second pick of the draft? Just overall. You know what I'm saying? Look at the majority. We've had so many quarterbacks go first, second, third, fourth, offensive guards, offensive tackles, DNs, like stuff like that. First and second pick of the draft. All right? Number two, what y'all got to think about is Shedeur Sanders is an athlete. He's a nice athlete. He's a good quarterback. Nobody really thought he was a top 5 quarterback. Now, in the draft class, yes. But there was only 2 teams that picked quarterbacks in the first round. All right? So, cool. We fine with Cam getting picked over him. We can debate Dart getting picked over him. It's 50-50 because Dart's a good quarterback too. He had the same numbers as Shedeur pretty much, give or take. They was on different teams, played different teams. So you got to take that in perspective. So, all right, so we fine with Dart being picked over Shedeur. Everybody should be fine with that. We come into the second round. In my mind, I'm like, Cleveland can take Shedeur and they can take Burden and have a nice little threat. That's me though. I'm not the owner of the Cleveland Browns. We saw Cleveland Browns not draft them. But then again, they got a whole situation that they dealing with their fucking quarterbacks. So, all right, they ain't thinking about grabbing them. Then you got a father who's basically telling everybody, if you want my son, you're going to have to deal with me. And if I don't like what you're doing, this might be an issue. See, that's what you got to understand. When you go to job interviews, when you go to study, that's what this is, man. This is a job interview. If your daddy at your job interview telling your job that you applying for, I tell you what, if y'all don't let my son become supervisor in 3 years, then he ain't gonna work here. Then they gonna say, well, bet, then I just won't hire the motherfucker. He could be a great asset to the company. But do we want to deal with the shit that's gonna come with it? Case in point, like, what was the guy named? Michael Sam, the gay dude. He was a hell of a DE, and I think he was like defensive player. He had some accolades. I want to say like defensive player of the year type accolade. He had something like that. Great. But the fact that he had that gay tag on him, a lot of people just didn't want to deal with what came with it. They just wanted a football player. But they knew, and we saw it, like Soon as he got drafted, now all of a sudden the whole camp became a let's bring the whole entire paparazzi to the Rams camp because we want to see the first gay football player, blah, 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 blah. And then all of the gay fans and everybody was there, and it just turned into everything but football. It's not an issue with him being gay, but it's just what comes with it. And with Shedeur Sanders, it's the same thing. The guy's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. So it's not like he has to be drafted. Like, technically, only person in this draft that had to be drafted first was Travis. Because who the fuck was better than him? Nobody was better than Hunter in this draft. Nobody was better in college than that man. So that man had to go top 5, point blank. Now, I can see if they was like, well, we ain't drafting him. Then you can say, all right, well, how the hell the best athlete in college is not getting drafted? All right, we looking at one of the better quarterbacks from last season. Now, was he that great for real? Do we, as real football fans, real guys who play football, all right, I'm talking about coaches and guys who play football, do you really think he can go to a team and just make them better? Like, for real. Look at certain teams. Cleveland Browns, no matter who the hell you put at quarterback, they are not going to be better. They just don't. They just not. It ain't going to happen. He could have went to, but people saying Tennessee maybe. Maybe not. And he still can go. And that's the thing. It's not like he ain't going to get drafted. He can still go, 4th round, 5th round. But the thing is, people know ain't nobody going to draft him, so why we got to get him now? We could grab all of our offensive linemen. We could grab some DNs. We could grab these DBs that we like. We got these fast wide receivers out here we might want. Shedeur ain't going nowhere. And if they miss on him, so what? I don't think anybody feels like it's a loss if they don't get him. First and foremost, I don't want to get him and then have to tell Deion, we going to sit him for the first. Now, Deion mad. Now it's a whole thing. You dealing with a kid whose father coached him his entire career. We don't even know if Shedeur can play for another coach. We don't know what he could do outside of Deion Sanders. We got to think about that. We watched this guy as a nice athlete. He could throw a ball. We seen him throw a lot of questionable passes that Hunter just said, I got it, don't worry about it. But what we haven't seen is how he plays in a system that wasn't created for him. How he plays when he went in Little League and his daddy said, all right, I got you. And in high school and his daddy said, I got you. And then in college, he goes to HBCU and his daddy become the coach and has his team with him and makes this plays around him and creates something. And he didn't create our offensive line for him. We see what happened when the boy ain't got no offensive line, and which is a lot of quarterbacks' issues. So then he goes to Colorado, top school, right? Daddy's still there. Daddy's got the same, got Bronger roster with him. No offensive line, playing in college. All right. He wasn't doing what he probably could have, but he was top. But he was top four in passing yards. He was top 2 in passing touchdowns, if I ain't mistaken. He had a shitload of bad balls, but at the same time, he had a wide receiver that made him great. But what happens when he goes to the NFL and his daddy can't coach him and his daddy can't be a part of this organization? What happens when I bring your son into this field and lock the doors on you? Or are you outside complaining? Or are you finna go on the news and say, oh, well, they not doing my son right in there. He needs to do this. He need to do that. Are we going to have to hear Deion Sanders every single time his son throw a touchdown, every single time his son throw a pass, every time his son throw an interception? Is Deion going to be in my owner's box telling the owner that his son need to be the top paid quarterback this year, or he leaving? Is he, first and foremost, we draft Shedeur Sanders first round. Deion ain't accepting the money. No, my son got to get the top dollar. He got to get paid more than Cam, even though Cam was first pick. Nope, we holding out. Now I got to deal with Shedeur Sanders holding out because his daddy and him think he the best quarterback in the league. He should be making more than Mahomes. So now I got to deal with that. Or I could just not draft him. I mean, I don't need him. We could use him, but I don't need him. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all got to look at when it comes to the politics. It's about politics. It ain't got nothing to do with him being black. The last thing it has something to do with is Shedeur being black. All right? Because that's here nor there. Who cares about his color when it comes to the money that they can make off of talent? That's how they uses us anyway. So him being black ain't the issue. They'll take a black one if he's great. They'll take that. Look at all of them that they done used up to today. And you think another one, oh, it's just reminded me of Colin Kaepernick. This ain't got shit to do with Colin Kaepernick. It's politics. It's what are you finna bring into my organization? And is it worth it? Is it worth it to say we got Shedeur, but now he's holding out because his daddy said that he deserves a $100 million contract before he even throw a football? And now we done drafted this guy, and now we can't even play with him. Now his daddy say he don't even want. Now he requesting a trade because his daddy understand the background. He done told the owners, I know where the dead bodies are laid. I understand the game. I understand what's going on. Bet that's fine, and I love your son, and I want your son to play with us, but I ain't taking that risk. Think of it like us men. We see these women walking around here all the time, bad, sexy, whatever. Great bodies, great this, great that. But then we be like, but I don't want them problems. I don't want them problems. You know what I'm saying? Why you think all of these bad women, all these rich women, all these this, that, and other ain't married, ain't got a man? Motherfuckers don't want them problems. And Deion Sanders has already proven with 1 billion fucking interviews that his son, he's going to be a problem. And I don't need that, especially for a quarterback that's not a 10 out of 10. He's good. He's good. He'll go into that league right now being top 25. Maybe. Depending on where he go. Because he can go to a system that'll kill him. And I ain't even saying it's his skills. I'm just saying in general. He could go to a system that'll kill him. He can go into Cleveland and be a horrible bust because of Cleveland. We've seen teams where good guys then win. We're like, God damn. Go to Chicago Bears. See what happened to your quarterback. I mean, some of these quarterbacks get destroyed, and then they go to other teams and be like, damn, that's what he was all this time. So we can't sit there and turn this into racism, man. It's bigger than that, man. Like, sometimes you just need to get out your son way, man, and let him be good. Let him be great. Let him play on the field so we can say that's what he's about. Not his daddy sitting up there talking about, you know what? If they keep playing my son like that, my son keep getting sacked like that, and they won't put no offensive line around him, then he ain't playing next year. And he'll do that. We heard Deion. Shit, and I love Deion. I still think Deion the best football players that ever touched the field. I don't care what y'all say. As far as playing football, I don't think there was nobody that ever been on that field that was better than Deion. For what he did. He played every position. He probably could have played quarterback. And then turned around and played baseball. Maybe he should have made his son play baseball. That's where the money at anyway. But hey, Deion built this. You know what I'm saying? This is Deion's monster. Now he created this monster. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. This ain't got nothing to do with him being black. This ain't got nothing to do with what Eli Manning did back in the fucking 2000s. This ain't got nothing to do with what John Elway did in the 80s. It ain't got shit to do with this 2025. It's way more money involved now. So I'm not finna give fucking $30 million a year to a fucking nobody. I'm not finna give a $35 million 4-year contract. Back in the days, they wasn't getting that. You talking $5 million contracts. Nowadays, you talking to dude who gonna definitely ask for a $100 million contract in the next 2 years. I don't want to deal with that.